Hey, what's up guys? It's me, Brandon Johnson for Used Boats TV, and today I'm going to take you for a ride on this beautiful Crownline 225 LPX bow ride. So the purpose of this video is to take you out on this boat and show you how to work it. I sell boats here at Heartland Marine, so be sure to check us out online. But the intention of this isn't to necessarily sell boats, to show you how to operate them. So we make a lot of videos about how to work boats, how boat reviews, how marine financing works, boat insurance, just all that stuff. So do me a favor while you're here checking this out, please consider subscribing by clicking down below. So let's get on the water and have some fun.
But first, I'd like to introduce our channel. I've been passionately selling boats for over 19 years. The purpose of this channel is to help you and your family enjoy boats and boating just as much as my family and I enjoy it. So thanks to the help of my staff here at Heartland Marine and my sons, we've been able to successfully upload hundreds of boat reviews, instructional operation, help, and how-to videos. I don't ask for anything in return, except for the opportunity to possibly help you find a boat when the time comes. So to stay up on everything we upload, click that subscribe button below and stay tuned.
Nice. Now, once you have your Crownline 225 LPX in the water, because it's got to be in the water to run, you come back here underneath the sun pad. Right in between these seats, there's a latch. You lift up on the latch. Right over here, we have our 2 batteries and our fire extinguisher. So when we go boating, we turn the switch to all. The alternator from the engine is going to keep all the batteries charged while we're boating. If we were going to stop and cove out, throw an anchor, swim, listen to the radio, we'd switch it to 1 or 2. That isolates all the systems on a single standalone battery. When we're done boating for the day, we just shut it off. But when we were done coving out, if we get the old click, 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 we can just switch over the other battery and fire it right up. Batteries are on, plugs in, batteries are on, let's go to the helm. In order to save time in this video, I cover a lot of basics in different playlists that I have here on my YouTube channel. So I have videos on how to dock boats, how to tie knots, how to drive boats, what to do when your boat won't start. So down in the description below, I'll include a link to all those. But this is a multi-port injected 5.7 GXI 320 horsepower engine with a dual prop drive. Our batteries are on, boat's in neutral, kill switch is right here secure, so we just turn the key. Fires right up. Now, anybody can drive up and down the lake all day. Docking takes a little practice, and with the dual prop drive, since they counter rotate, that makes it a lot easier. But shifting, right here, there's a little trigger underneath the shifter. We only have to squeeze that to engage it into gear. You'll notice you did not hear a bang or a clang. That's because this drive shifts very smooth. So neutral, reverse right here, and your throttle range is beyond that. That makes it real easy to dock because you don't have to worry about juicing it, giving it a little too much. Now, I've had a lot of people when they drive, they get real excited and they have the finger here on the trim up button, and that brings the outdrive out of the water. So what I'm going to do now is go over kind of the gauges and some of the systems, and then we will drive the boat, and I'm going to run it trimmed all the way down with the outdrive, then I'm going to run it trimmed up so you can see what our top speed is. We're also going to hopefully find a comfortable cruise speed where we're running at a low RPM. The boat runs nice and flat and it just feels right. So right here we have our blower that ventilates the engine compartment. Okay, over here we have accessory button. God knows sometimes at night it'll turn something on. Captain's call exhaust. Oh yeah, that sounds good. So we're gonna leave that off for now, but what we're doing there is we're choosing how this boat sends its exhaust in the water it's using to keep the engine cool out of the boat. So only switch this at idle speed. If you don't switch it at idle speed, you can actually break the little leads that turn the flappers, okay? Docking lights up front, courtesy lights inside if it has some, I don't know, I don't see any. Horn, bilge pump's automatic, you'll probably never use it, but there's a button for it. It's automatic, so you shouldn't have to ever use it. There's a bobber in there, if it floats, it turns it on. Navigation lights, that's driving at nighttime. If you touch it this way where it says nav, that's the red and green up front and the white light. In the middle's off, stopped at night, to the right, white light. Okay, we also have tilt steering, so we can set this wherever we want it. And we have a big, honking, amazing stereo in this bad gal. If we find a station. Talk radio. Talk radio. Oh, my country station doesn't come in. Grandpa's Never Die. I love this song. So this thing does sound absolutely amazing. But that's not what we're doing it for. We're doing it to drive it. Right here we have our engine temperature. You want to come up here, Bill? Temperature, volt, oil pressure, speed, tack, trim, which the trim gauge does not work. So we're definitely going to learn about how to operate tilt and trim, fuel, and depth finder, okay? So now what I want to do, since we understand what the gauges do, we understand what the button, how to work the buttons and switches, I'm going to take the camera from Billy and we're going to talk about how to drive this boat, and we're going to talk about how it operates and functions. All right, let's do it. All right, it is a beautiful day, except for it's pretty dadgum cold. So let's come back to a dead stop right here. Come back to neutral to stop our forward momentum. All right. See if I can scoot this seat up a little bit. That way I can set the camera on my big fat belly. Got it. All right. So we're going to gauge into gear. So for, you know, cruising or water sports, we get the slack out of the line, so we just kind of idle forward and then we hammer down. These 225s, they plane extremely smooth. So let's go ahead and zoom in on our gauges here. But the boat planes extremely smooth. I mean, the nose really didn't even come up. It just runs nice and flat. So right here, you can always tell when a boat's powered well because your speed and tack correspond with one another pretty closely. What I mean by that is if we were running 5,000 RPM to run 25 mile an hour, the boat's got too small of an engine. So right here is a nice comfortable cruise speed, right around 3,000 RPM. Let's slow down a little more yet. See if we can cruise comfortably. Yeah, we can still cruise comfortably in the mid-20s, which is very, very impressive. The boat's riding nice and flat. Everything's smooth. So remember, we're trimmed down, so we want to push it as hard as we can. That's all the way down. Woohoo, baby! So we're running a hard 35. Now this Volvos have a temperature sensor. It may not completely release the thermostat until we get the engine real warm, and the water's too cold right now to get too warm, but that's 40 miles an hour, trimmed all the way down. So, how do I know where our trim is? Do you see the wave coming off the boat's way up here on the side? As we trim up, we're going to let the nose come up, and that wave will get back behind our shoulder. So right now I'm just trimming up, just butt push at a time. And you see now we're running 45. Watch out, birds. You see how the wave coming off the boat's way back there? That's how we know we're trimmed up right. So we're hitting basically 50 miles an hour at 4,800 RPM, which is, oh yeah, very, very impressive. So let's see how good she turns. We're running a little over 30. We're going to turn sharp. Hold on, Wild Bill. Oh yeah, turns nice and smooth. We'd have no problem picking up a skier. Always trim back down. We're going to punch it again. Just put a good load on it. Oh yeah, it doesn't hit, miss, spit, pop, or sputter. Runs nice and strong. Just a good running boat. We're trimming back up here. Using our V to cut through the waves. Man, it handles well. I'm going to hand the camera to Billy here. I'm very impressed with it. I'm going to say a few things. So you'll notice there when we hit 50, we started hitting some waves. And what happens is the boat started to porpoise a little bit. So I have a lot of customers that come in and they want to trade their boat because it porpoises, which is great. I'll gladly trade for it. However, what they don't realize is 99% of that is actually driver error. So if you're going too fast and you're trimmed up, you create kind of a hiccup, kind of a bounce. If you hit some waves, you create kind of a bounce in the boat. It's like a dolphin swims like this. So all you do to stop the boat from porpoising is turn a little, not hard, don't throw your family out of the boat, and trim down a little. Then you can straighten it up and take back off. So that'll stop that momentum of bouncing like a skipping rock down a creek. You just break the momentum. So this boat runs extremely well. We were at about 4,800 RPM at 50 miles an hour, which is extremely impressive for the dual prop drive. Now I'm gonna have some fun, kick the captain's call exhaust on, and take you for a ride back to the boat ramp. Comes out of the water, it sounds amazing. Yeehaw! Look at that damn rooster tail, Bill. Grandpa's never died. Never wrote his name Copperhead. The coolers never run out of cold Bud Light. I wish high school home teams never lost. Backwood drinking kids never got caught. Okay, so we're going to take this back to the shop and winterize it. But one thing I want to show you here, and we'll have to cut and extend this a little bit, is when people put their boat in the water, it's real easy to back it in. You make sure the plug's in, then you just back the boat up and you see the ass end of the boat float. Once it floats, you know that's good enough. Putting it on the trailer, a lot of people struggle, and I feel the reason for that almost entirely is if they have the dual prop out drive, because these are easier to maneuver and they go in a straight line. But they get the trailers too deep in the water. In the front of the trailer, you want to see the guide bunks just barely sticking out. As long as they're barely sticking out, this trailer was specifically made for this boat. So here's our guide bunks, here's our boat. There's nowhere for it to go but the right spot. Once you get it up there, trim the out drive all the way up. When you trim it all the way up, it'll scream, stop doing that. Then you yank her out of the water, pull your plug out. Let's go put her on there. So you see the guide bunks are just barely sticking out of the water. This is perhaps a little deeper than I'd like it, but good enough. I trimmed up just a little bit. So see, we just got our V in the center of the bunks, and now we're just gonna slow and steadily apply throttle. Herky-jerky gets people hurt. You've seen people at the ramp going, rom, rom. Don't do that. Just nice and steady, slow applied throttle will help us guide it right on there, if we're in gear. I did it. I let go of it. Just like that. As my kids would say, like a boss. Let's pull her out. Quick pop quiz. What two things we do when we get our boat out of the water? Battery switch off, plug out.